Are on the field. The leaders will be right in the middle, and Cara Saunders is in lane number 9, and Saunders is looking to finish on the podium for the second straight year here at the CrossFit Games, and she had herself a huge day yesterday.
Cara Saunders' big day was 4 top 10 finishes, which bumped her up the leaderboard from 5th place position. She sits in 3rd place now. Remember, last year she was your 2nd place finisher overall.
And she's trying to chase down Laura Horvath, who currently does sit in second place.
This is the big story. Can the rookie hold off these veterans that are breathing down her neck?
10 seconds.
Second and final heat for the women in event 12, the 2-stroke pole presented by Zevia, and it begins with that 300-meter run around the North Park here and then back on the other side.
There is nothing fancy about this event. It is just pure work, and it's going to hurt because the athletes that need these points have to go quick, but it's really important to pick your pace and have yourself set on cruise control for the first 4 rounds, and then make sure you have a little fuel reserve for the final round, because that's where you really have to open it up and leave everything on the table for what you have in the tank.
E. Schertz has the time to beat. She did that in the first of 2 heats. It is 15 minutes, 31.60 seconds. As the athletes make their way back onto the field. Now remember, they have to go back to their lanes, so we will not know who will be the leader here until the first woman gets herself onto the bike. That's Caroline Reason-Thibault at the bottom of your screen. She's followed by Tanil Berline. Berline is on the bike. Tia Toomey on the right of your screen in the red pants is your overall leader. She currently leads Laura Horvath by 114 points. The past 3 years of the CrossFit Games, the women's competition has come down to the final event. That may not be the case here in 2018.
This year, Tia Claire Toomey is just a picture of fitness, perfect model for what we display. She is passing this test with flying colors. This event will be no problem for her. So if she can be in the top 3, she may seal the deal even after this event. So no worries for her here. The race is really going to be for the podium. I've been so impressed how Tia Toomey has handled herself.
Catherine Davidsdottir is the first woman off the bike. Annie Thorisdottir is second. These are the only 2 women to ever win 2 CrossFit Games championships, and Tia Toomey may be joining them soon. There are 17 repetitions in every round. Davidsdottir, she is the leader. Her name is highlighted in that blue box at the top of your screen. There are 85 total repetitions in this event, and Davidsdottir is done with her first round. Annie Thorisdottir in the black top and white shorts working on her pole. And she is back now on the run. That is Amanda Barnhart, impressive rookie. That was Annie Thorisdottir, pardon me. Behind her is Brooke Wells.
For Annie Thorisdottir, for Catherine Davidsdottir here in your blue, these women have the pressure on them. They're the ones sitting in 4th place and 5th place position just outside the podium. So they need every possible points that they can get, and they need Laura Horvath, who's sitting in 2nd, Cara Saunders, who's sitting in 3rd. They have to do better than them.
Second 300-meter run. For more on that, let's send it down to Mike Arsenault.
A number of athletes told me the key to this event was finding a segment to get a little bit of rest and recovery. Many athletes said it would be on the run. I asked them what pace will they try to maintain. A 1:30 400-meter pace. That means for 300 meters, right around a minute to a minute 6. That's exactly what the athletes ran in the first lap. We'll see if they can maintain that for the remaining 4.
Thanks, Mike. Catherine Davidsdottir making the turn back in. She's followed by Brooke Wells and Annie Thorisdottir. Davidsdottir is trying to get herself onto the podium. She currently trails Cara Saunders by 40 points. And the good news for Davidsdottir is right now she is way ahead of Cara Saunders in this heat. And Davidsdottir gets to work on her second of 5 assault bike rides, and she has to complete 15 calories on that apparatus.
Catherine Davidsdottir, such a veteran athlete. She is one of the best at knowing her pacing and knowing her body, being able to read where she should push. She's very calculated, so in an event like this, she can handle that pace, and she knows where she's at. I am not concerned that she's going too hard. Laura Horvath, on the other hand, is a rookie. I'm still learning so much about her, seeing her in her first games. So I'm really anxious to see how she handles just the volume in this event. It is one of those awkward times where it's so uncomfortable. I'm anxious to see, can she hold this pace? Can she keep up with Katrin Davidsdottir? But Cara Saunders, she is just known for her grunt work and how she can put her head down and grind. That's what you need to do in this event. You want to talk about power. We talk about Cara Saunders a lot of times in the same sentence.
Katrin Davidsdottir back on the sled that weighs 153 pounds, and she has to pull it 44 feet as she closes out her second round.
What I like what she's doing is she stands all the way up. The biggest thing is when you stay in the hunched over position and keep that tension on your legs, it's just so much time under tension. Your legs can feel that much heavier when you go off for your run.
Davidsdottir is done, and she is your leader as she heads out onto her third of 5 300-meter runs, looking to pick up yet another win here at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. Katrin Davidsdottir kicking off round number 3 on this 300-meter run as she looks to work her way onto the podium. Currently 4th place overall, trails Cara Saunders by 20 points. Toomey now just leaving on her third run. Now Toomey just has to avoid a total disaster here. If she stays in the top 10 in an event, she's going to be fine.
The good news for Katrin is she already saw the women before go in this event. She has a time she's shooting for that she knows she needs to beat if she wants those 100 points. So really, the biggest thing she needs to do is keep an eye on the clock and then keep an eye on her body and just know that she keeps herself just under that red line. That's the threshold we talk about before you can't get your breathing back in, get your heart rate back. As long as she manages that, and she should be just fine.
Katrin Davidsdottir back for her third 15 calories on the assault bike. The last time we were here in the North Park, she won. That was in the Chaos event. Looking to pick up her third win here of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. Amanda Barnhart just returned to her bike. Carol Ann Reason-Tebow. Laura Horvath, the impressive rookie, is on the left of your screen. She looks to keep herself in the top 3. She actually led this competition early on and has since then never seen herself fall out of the top 3.
She just had a little rough day 2. That's where she had 2 places outside the top 10. But man, yesterday I was so impressed. Her worst finish was in that Chaos event that the athletes didn't know about. She took an 8th in that one. And I would say from a mental standpoint, that was the hardest one to handle.
Katrin Davidsdottir currently has a 6-rep lead on Amanda Barnhart, who is creeping up. She and Brooke Wells are fighting for second place. And Davidsdottir now on her third 44-foot sled pull.
Katrin Davidsdottir and Brooke Wells, they train together throughout the year, sometimes both coached by Ben Bergeron. So that's really good when you have someone there right near you and you know how they push. They can really help each other out here to both go a little bit faster.
Laura Horvath now off the bike as she looks to gain ground and solidify her hold on second place overall. The 12th event of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. It's the final day of competition, and Katrin Davidsdottir is now in her 4th of 5 rounds as she looks to pick up her 3rd win of these CrossFit Games.
She's only 36 points outside of podium position right now, and this is the day where it all matters because this is it. This is what she's been training for all year.
Davidsdottir in the lead through 51 of those 85 repetitions, and rookie Laura Horvath, the first woman from Hungary to compete as an individual at the CrossFit Games, has moved into second place. Another rookie, Amanda Barnhart, who is just turning the corner, is in third. Brooke Wells sits in fourth, and it's Carol-Ann Reason-Tebow out of Canada in fifth.
Before the CrossFit Games started, we were watching a lot of the usual suspects, we called them. They were the ones that finished up the leaderboard last year at the top, and there was a big race, multiple races, but Amanda Barnhart and Laura Horvath both have impressed me so well, not just in their physical capabilities, but their mental game. To be among the top, who they have been racing with from day one of competition, that was the hardest day of CrossFit Games history, day one, till today, the last day of competition, to be at the top, to maintain their composure has just been so impressive.
Catherine Davidsdottir's lead has shrunk as Laura Horvath is gaining ground. Davidsdottir's in the blue, Horvath is in the black top and white shorts. Davidsdottir, one of two women to win 2 CrossFit Games championships. She did that in 2015 and again in 2016. Annie Thorisdottir, who is in this heat, is the other. She won in 2011 and in 2012. So Laura Horvath currently sits in second place overall, trying to close the gap as much as she can on overall leader Tia Toomey. And Horvath right now doing just that as Toomey is still out on the run. This is now the 4th of 5 rounds, 15 calories on the assault bike. Those are the standings. Tia Toomey, 928 total points. The better you do in an event, the more points you receive, and the winner in an event gets 100 points.
This assault bike takes so much out of you when you've already pushed yourself on the run. You're already breathing hard. To be able to push here, this is where it hurts.
Catherine Davidsdottir is trying to hold off Amanda Barnhart and Laura Horvath here on this 4th 15-calorie assault bike. And Davidsdottir is going to coast to the end as she looks to save a little bit of energy for that 4th sled pull, and she'll make her way down the field. And she'll have to pull that 153-pound sled 44 feet, and then 1 round remains. Here comes Laura Horvath. Davidsdottir getting to work on her 4th sled pull.
So far, Catherine Davidsdottir has been doing these really big pulls. She uses her hips, drives, and then gets that little split second of rest. Watch the way Horvath in the white shorts is just doing the quick, constant pulls, just keeps that sled moving.
And now here comes Tia Toomey, who again, if she can just stay in the top 10 in this event, will keep herself atop the overall leaderboard by a wide margin. And now Laura Horvath has taken the lead from Catherine Davidsdottir as we head into the 5th and final round. The time to beat is 15:31.60 seconds. And remember, there are a lot of other times out there that have been put up on the board that could factor in here and steal points from these athletes.
Horvath looked like she was shot out of a cannon. Look at the way she's running. She's leaning forward. She is all into this run. Meanwhile, behind her, Catherine Davidsdottir has a much more upright stance. She's breathing hard, so Laura Horvath is ready to go. She left some gas in the tank.
Horvath on her final 300-meter run. Davidsdottir is behind her. Mackenzie Riley, Amanda Barnhart, and Carol-Ann Reason-Tebow rounding out your top 5 in this heat. And now Tia Toomey is back on the run, and she is ahead of Cara Saunders, who's on the left of your screen. Saunders currently 3rd overall. Tia Toomey just trying to keep herself in the lead comfortably. Cara Saunders just trying to hang on to a podium spot. Laura Horvath is your leader in this event. Davidsdottir is 2nd. That's significant because Catherine Davidsdottir is 40 points behind Cara Saunders for that 3rd and final spot. We still have more events to go today. The athletes don't know how many. They don't know what they are. So Davidsdottir looking to cut into Cara Saunders' lead and get herself back on the podium as Laura Horvath comes back in here to the North Park at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Wisconsin.
And just judging on how fast she did that run, I'm going to guess she still has a lot left to push here, and we're going to see a much different pace than we did in the earlier rounds here on the assault bike.
Laura Horvath, her final 15 calories on the assault bike, and she has a lead on the woman on her right, Catherine Davidsdottir, the former 2-time fittest woman on earth. Time to beat 15:31.60 seconds. E-Shirts did that in the first of 2 heats here in the 12th event of these 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. 84 is the number that Horvath needs to hit before she can move to the sled. Katrin Davidsdottir now starting to pick up the pace.
She does a lot of work on the assault bikes. She knows how to sprint this here.
Davidsdottir has pulled even with Horvath, just about a calorie behind, as Davidsdottir's given this thing all she has. Horvath starting to pick up the pace as well. And Davidsdottir is done just ahead of Horvath. But remember, Horvath had a faster pace on that sled. Horvath is off. Davidsdottir looking to win for the second consecutive time here in the North Park. But here comes the rookie, Laura Horvath. To the sled at the same time.
Look at the way Horvath is running. I love her intensity.
Horvath right to work. She has a lead on Davidsdottir. The time to beat is going to go down. Laura Horvath, one pull to go. And the new kid on the block is here to stay. Laura Horvath wins event 12. Katrin Davidsdottir now looking to lock up second place in this event and creep closer to a spot on the podium, as Cara Saunders, who currently sits at third, is still working. So now Davidsdottir is in, and Tia Toomey is looking to solidify her hold on the overall leaderboard. She came into this event with a 114-point lead. Tia Toomey is done. Bethany Shadburn finished just ahead of her, so Toomey's going to finish 7th in the event. And now Cara Saunders is in, so Saunders was just trying to do damage control and hold Katrin Davidsdottir off of her back for that final podium spot. And here comes Annie Thorisdottir, who is 5th overall coming into this event.
Annie's pace really fell off there after about the second round. Just wasn't able to keep up with Davidsdottir. So similar to what we saw yesterday in Chaos in that event, but Annie Thorisdottir just making small little pulls. And now she's changing here with using those hips.
About a minute 20 seconds before we hit that 18-minute time cap, and this is where those times from the prior heats are starting to factor in. Remember, the better you do in an event, the more points you receive, and Annie Thorisdottir looking to keep herself in the top 5 as she gets across the finish line. So Thorisdottir will take 13th in the heat. That is good for 19th in the event, which will earn her 42 points. And now Brooke Wells is across the finish line. And that is a Cassidy Lance McWhirter. Camila Blanc-Bazinet, the woman who won the 2014 Reebok CrossFit Games. Maddie Sturt, another impressive youngster, just 21 years of age, but in her 3rd career CrossFit Games appearance. And that is Camila Blanc-Bazinet, who is the final woman on the field. And she has 15 seconds to get that thing across the finish line, and she's pulling for all she's worth. And Blanc-Bazinet is in. All 20 women in the final heat finish event 12, the 2-stroke pull. Laura Horvath, her 2nd event win in her 1st ever CrossFit Games appearance, and this young lady may find herself on the podium at the end of the day.
No rookie moves here. Oh my word, she was incredible. Tia Toomey was on the bike here early. She had a nice strong pace. She was really smooth, just like Katrin Davidsdottir. These were the veterans that we didn't know if they were going to be able to hang. Is Horvath going to be able to hang with these veteran athletes in an event like this? She kept her pacing. Really important that she kept her pace just behind Katrin Davidsdottir, slowed and closed the gap. It was the 4th round where she really decided to close the gap. She took off, led the final round in that run That's where she made up a lot of distance, but Katrin came back to the bike and really caught her, pushed as hard as she could, but Laura Horvath it was no big deal. She chased her down so fast, quick on the transition, got to that sled, and really just raced to the finish. Laura Horvath doesn't know how good she is. That was such an impressive event.
Laura Horvath with her second event win as she outpulls Katrin Davidsdottir, locks up 100 points, and she is looking to keep herself on the podium. 15 minutes, 12.38 seconds to win the event. E. Schurch will be second. Katrin Davidsdottir picks up valuable points as she takes third, but Mike Arsenault is with Laura Horvath.
Laura, we've had 3 running events so far this week, and you've finished first, 7th, and 1st. Why are you so good at running?
I don't know. I just really like running, I guess.
Let's go to this event here. You led for most of the way, took the lead on the run, and then Katrin took the lead back from you after the final bike. What was going through your mind as you saw you had to chase her down for the final pull?
During the run, I knew that she was better on the bike, so she would get off earlier, but I knew that I was better on the pull, so I was okay with it. I know I just had to run to my sled and pull as hard as I could.
Laura, a rookie should not be doing this well this late in the CrossFit Games. You've met every challenge so far. You're on the podium. What do you need to do in the last 2 events to continue to move closer to that first place position?
Just keep having fun and doing the best I can, and I guess I'm going to be okay.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. It's awesome. You are great. Thanks.
Laura Horvath may not know how good she is, but the rest of the field certainly does. Right now, solidly in second place. 42 points up on Cara Saunders for second. Saunders sits in third, and she's going to have to hold off Katrin Davidsdottir, Annie Thorisdottir, and Kristen Holta the rest of the way.